Hi, I'm Max.
Hi, and I'm Denise.
And welcome back to Urban Lifestyles, and welcome to the new year because it is 2025. And I'm going to start off by saying I don't know where the year went, and we're already a few weeks into 2025.
Yeah, already. And 2025 makes me think of like readings that I used to, read about what the future was going to look like. And I guess because we just gradually go into it, we're at 2025, and this future doesn't seem as scary as it did from years back.
Right. And normally, when we used to think about like 2025, it just seemed like something that was in the sci-fi movies or something, but we're actually living during this time. We've got a great show. Some of the things we're going to look at is some of the things that we did back in 2024. I think some of our favorite segments that we did, some with LG&E, some with AARP, and a host of others. So we'll take a quick break and back with more right after this.
LG&E and KU, we're always working hard to make your life a little easier because we know you've got your hands full. Our new mobile app gives you the power to check your account balance, review your payment history, and effortlessly pay your bill from anywhere while making it easier than ever to report and track power outages. Download the app today to get the convenience of LG&E and KU at your fingertips.
Well, it's only fitting that we start out with one of our major sponsors, which is MSD. They're always doing great things in the community. So, Denise, tell us what's up.
Now, this segment is real important because it deals with fog. And fog can be detrimental to us, but this is fog in a different way, but it also can affect us not really good. So let's just take a look. So today's topic is going to be very important, and you need to listen up. We're going to be talking about the safe, clean waterways with MSD. The subject matter today is about fogs, and we know that fog can be very detrimental when it comes to our roadways and driving. But also, did you know that fog could be detrimental when it comes to your house and the piping system? Now we're going to have a young lady to explain to us, Miss Candace Groves with MSD. And Candace, welcome to Urban Lifestyles.
Thank you, thank you.
So let's talk about your position at MSD and also this subject matter about fog and what fog is.
Yes, as you said, my name is Candace Groves, and I am with the Industrial Waste Department, and I am the FOG Program Administrator. So FOG is an acronym for fats, oils, and grease. And fats, oils, and grease is basically derived from meat products and other things. So it can become detrimental if that waste gets into our collection system.
Okay, so that means that we at home as residents, we need to learn about some of the mishaps around fog, and there are some steps that we can do at our home system in regards to preventing so we don't have these problems. Is that right?
That's correct. It can also cause sanitary sewer overflows in our system. So there's things that residents and our residential customers can do to prevent that from happening.
Okay, so let's talk about some of our daily lifestyling, and let's say primarily we're going to be talking about what's happening in food and in the kitchen. How do we prevent fog?
One of the things that we can do is when we cook those products that are heavy in fats, oils, and grease, is to can it. So we want to take our grease that we use and pour it in a heat-safe container. And then what we want to do is put it in a container. You want to set it aside and let it cool. Once it cools and it's at basically room temperature, you just want to discard that in your regular household trash. That's one of the things we can do.
So just to make sure, we are not discarding this grease down the drain.
Right, correct. We do not want to pour grease, any fats, oils, and grease that contain greases and oils down the drain. Another thing that we can do is you can find a strainer, any type of strainer in your local hardware stores. They come in the plastic form where they're a little bit easier to store, or you can also purchase them like they come like in a metal or stainless steel type of material. And that just keeps the solids out of the drain, just meats and fats and things like that.
Now, what are some of the foods? So, because I have like meat in mind, but there are some other foods that also contribute to the fog and the clogging of the drains. Can you just touch basically on the types of things we need to be aware of?
Sure. There's other things that contain fog. There's butter. Any type of gravies can cause detrimental problems to the drain. Any type of oils, icings, mayonnaise, any type of mayonnaise, and also ranch dressing, any type of dressing, not just ranch, but any type of dressing has fats, oils, and content in it. Also, milk. A lot of folks think that milk doesn't have fats, oils, and grease, but it does, especially your whole milk. It does have some content of fat.
So I'm just thinking, Candace, because I get it. I'm going to not put these things down the drain, hot oil in the can. But what about if I eat a salad and you have that fat, oily residue? Is it safe to say I should then take one more step and wipe that out before I go to, cleansing all of my dishes and so forth?
You are absolutely correct. If you have solids on a plate after you're finished eating, another tip is to take that solid food and scrape it into your household trash and prevent those solids from getting into your private drain.
Okay, so let's say some people didn't know and they were doing this. How does fog clog up the pipes in your home?
Okay. Fats, oils, and grease becomes, once it goes down your private plumbing and to the collection system, on its way to our collection system, it's going to become a hardened mass. It may be loose or a liquid form when you pour it down the drain, but once it gets inside your pipes, it's going to cool and it'll become a hardened mass. And once it becomes a hardened mass, it depletes the size and the capacity of that pipe. Where you may have a 2-inch pipe may become reduced to a 1-inch pipe because of the solids that have clung to the sides of the pipe.
Wow, it makes me think about if you have clogged arteries in your body. Basically, if we just take the proper prevention steps, that keeps us from creating a problem that we would ordinarily would have. And I have another question too. So MSD's role, how does MSD address preventing fog?
MSD has some policies and regulations in place for both our commercial and our residential residents. And those are found on our website at LouisvilleMSD.org. You can find on our website, we have pollution prevention measures for our residents. There's some public service information for our residents that's easy to read. And also, you can always contact MSD if you have questions in regards to that.
Well, Denise, I never knew that the acronym FOG was fats, oil, and grease, but I know you beat me over the head about that on a regular basis, and I am adhering to what you say.
Yeah, because just because you scraped the plate, let's say,
Yes.
you had salad, you still need to take some towel paper and wipe that down, because think of it like your arteries, and all that accumulates in your pipes, you're just making it more and more and more narrow, and then you're going to have a big problem.
Yep, and problems we don't want.
And it's a problem citywide with MSD. So.
We'll take another break and back with more.
Just getting from one place to another. It's healthy, social, good for the environment, and anyone can do it. We at Middletown love cycling and really love helping others discover a new passion. Stop in today and let our friendly, knowledgeable staff help you get started. We cater to beginners as well as experienced cyclists. We're a local business that cares about our community because we are a part of the community. Come in today and get on a bicycle that fits your needs and improve your life.
As we said, 2024 was a great year. It's hard to believe we completed 16 years, and congratulations to you for being such a wonderful partner.
Oh, thank you.
And now we're going to take a look at some of the things that we did, some shows we thought that were really fun that you'll get a kick at looking back at. So take a look.
This is a place where you can come and eat, free Wi-Fi, people watch, and eat a good sub.
Well, what we're going to do today, we would be remiss is if we didn't try one of the subs. So the one over here is the what?
That's the Philly cheesesteak right there. It's delicious. That's the #1 seller. Everybody comes in here. We sell a lot of these every day.
And then the other one?
This is my favorite. This is the chicken flatbread with spinach.
And just allow the community to come into a space that otherwise they would have avoided. And
So what has the reception been as it relates to everything that you've done? And it looks great.
oh, I appreciate it. So what we've been doing is just trying to get more seniors and family members, people that don't have access to a car.
Great bar food, sports betting, our entertainment stage up there, and then as well as we have Trophy Bar and Fascinator on our second level down here. Very unique concept that pays, homage to Churchill Downs with, the bourbon and the lilies, and guests that come in down here. Usually the first words are, "Wow, I didn't know this place was down here." So we have a little under 500.
It's important because, MSD, in terms of our large infrastructure program, we spend over $200 million a year on construction, and we need to have local companies, local contractors available to do the work.
When you drop those names, those are the names that I grew up watching. Goose Tatum, that whole group. And now you, as you said, you're filling in for that legacy. What's it like? How did you get started? And when did you know that I want to be a Globetrotter?
Well, honestly, I never in a million years thought I would be a Harlem Globetrotter.
Well, it's kind of in climate, and a lot of people haven't transitioned to outdoors yet.
Yes. So these are what they called bike trainers. So basically there's a variety of different kind of trainers that you can put your own bike on and continue to train indoors when the weather is not so warm.
Well, my name is Andrea Jackson. I'm a utility 2 worker in the drainage department. We provide clean waterways through the ditches. We keep debris, anything, blockage. We just want to make sure the water's flowing. I also drive the truck.
We have about 4 or 5 of our youth that are going to historically black colleges and universities. So we have a true diversity amongst the schools that they're going to.
Okay, so next we have Graham Porter. Graham, welcome to Urban Lifestyles.
So I'm representing Vivian Thomas. He grew up in Nashville, Tennessee, as a carpenter with his father.
What happened was, guys, October the 17th was my father's heavenly birthday. He was 105. I dropped the announcement that I would be doing his book 2024, which was, of course, this year. And then I decided to do a production to highlight the book, to make sure that people would know about the book. So I highlighted it today.
To folks, so we tackle that first. Then we move on to that critical infrastructure. Places like police stations, fire stations, nursing homes, hospitals, stuff like that. And then we really tackle the heavy lifting of doing all the individual repairs. And that can take the longest amount of time, especially if we have to go street to street, house to house.
Whatever show it may be, they may have, a celebrity may very well have Angelino on. So we do carry his brand and just a few different styles and colors, and probably, as you can see, that we have a variety of colors. And for Derby time, it's one of our top sellers. But people don't just get it for Derby.
It's okay. And of course, in the jazz arena, there's so many whose roots are in Louisville. Yeah, and there are even more. There's a guy by the name of Todd Duncan. Todd Duncan was the first Porgy.
That's what I took the most courses in, was in chemistry and math.
So basically today's time, they call that being a STEM student. So you did mention that after graduation, you did not get to work in your field.
We here at the zoo and LG&E, we thank you for your longtime sponsorship of Party for the Planet. We believe the Earth deserves more than just a day to celebrate. So we celebrate all month long here at the zoo. So during the month of April, we have discounts. We have our Fun Day Mondays where admission was $7.25. And we have a major discount day where you get $5 off admission and free parking, thanks to LG&E and KU, on April 21st.
Yeah.
And then we've got
to come fellowship with us and celebrate with us like one big elevated weekend family style kickback. The wedding was the main event, of course, but we also wanted people to enjoy their time there since they were flying there to see us.
Well, those segments bring back some great memories.
They do, and it's like, where did the year go?
Yeah.
And look what transpired during this year. And I like being able to capture and then go back and look.
Yeah. And thanks again for everybody across the community that when you see us out, you say, hey, we like what you're doing. And we like doing it because we think you appreciate it. And we want to keep bringing you these great stories in 2017. We'll take another break and back with more. Not these great stories in 2017, but in our 17th year in 2025. We'll take another break and back with more.
The Steve Harvey Morning Show is the best that there is. Period.
Yeah! It's your girl Shay K, and every Monday through Saturday, rock with me. Got midday going on.
Hey, I'm Faith Daniels, and I'm going to be looking for you on the afternoon ride right here on Magic 101.3.
Hey, it's Mir Helen Robbins from Magic 101.3. I do the Quiet Storm from 7 to 12 midnight.
Stream us 24/7, 365, and take us on the go at 1013online.com.
Your number one station for R&B, Magic 101.3.
You know, there are a lot of hidden gems in the area, and one in particular is in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and it's an African-American owned winery. So take a look at this piece. Correct. We're at the Water's Edge Winery and Bistro of E-Town, and you are...
I'm a lot of things.
Okay, but you, first of all, your name again.
I'm Tiana Watkins.
Okay. And you and your folks own this facility, correct?
Yes.
All right. So tell me what made you all step out into this venue and to bring something like this to E-Town?
Well, I guess it was a joint effort. Me being a college student, graduating, and then my dad had a dream of always opening up his own restaurant. So spending all that money on a degree and can't find a job within that degree field. So he just, with the help of a family friend from the military, he's retired, knew that Elizabethtown didn't have a winery, and the closest one would be either in like Shepherdsville or in Louisville or in Indiana or Tennessee. There's nothing in close proximity. So she knew the franchise owner, that's Ken Lineberger from California, and she got in contact with him, and then they got in contact with us, and then the rest is history.
So tell us about the wines that are featured. So if you come to Water's Edge, I'm seeing 5 different options here. So let's just talk about some of them. The first one I'm looking at is this rosé. So tell me about this rosé.
The rosé is a white Zinfandel. It's semi-sweet or semi-dry, depending on your palate.
Okay. And you're old enough to drink, so what's your favorite?
Well, my favorite that's presented right now would be the Carmen. It's a dry red wine.
Okay.
For a Carmenere from Chile.
Okay.
And so the reason why it's a dry red wine is because usually where the grapes are usually grown, if it's drier, the warmer the climate, the drier the wine. So the colder the climate, the sweeter the wines.
Oh, very cool. And where do most of the, because you're the Water's Edge and you're part of a franchise, are these grapes coming from California or?
All over the world.
All over
So
the world?
you'll taste some wines like the Carmen from Chile. We have a Gewürztraminer from Germany.
Okay.
We have a few from Italy. So you get a wide variety of wines from all over in little old Elizabethtown.
So tell us the hours of the restaurant, and I'm assuming there is food and everything that's available. So what are your hours of operation?
Our hours are Tuesday through Thursday from 4 p.m. till 9 p.m. On Friday, we'll open from 11 till 10 p.m. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, we open from brunch from 9 till 3 from brunch on Sundays and 3 on Saturdays. But on Saturdays, we close at 10 as well.
And what are some of the things that we'll find on the menu?
You have like a nice variety. We have like a nice small bistro items with sandwiches, like our favorites, the Triple Layer Club or the Cuban. Appetizers are all famous, like our homemade pimento cheese bowl or our famous wings, or I like to call our grown-up Lunchable, our charcuterie board. We also have like our brunch items, so we get a little breakfast as well, and we have dinner options as well, like our chicken parmesan and our new menu item, our part wine steak dinner, which is used one of our wines.
So if I'm going to only sample one of these because I've got to drive back to Louisville, which one of these should I sample?
Our sweet ones, because they're less in the alcohol percentage, just 7%, to where the whites and especially the reds will get you where you want to go.
That's pretty good. Oh, we forgot to toast. Cheers. And you know, this is pretty good.
Yes, sir. It's not because our sweet wines is not the typical wines that you'll see or you probably tried, like maybe like Purple Toad or like Welch's grape juice. It's actually great wine. It's just sweetened with the flavors of like raspberry dragon fruit or white cranberry, like our Wildcat Blues, or like our other fruit infused sangrias. So it's a nice subtle wine you can drink anytime during the year, and you won't get that icky feeling in your stomach from the thickness of the syrup or anything, since there's no syrup really in it.
Well, thank you. It's a very unique little winery that's there, restaurant. As I talked before, Upshaw Briggs from Hoptown, the greatest city in the state of Kentucky. You know, he plays music there as well. But it's just a unique experience. It's only 40 minutes down the road, so I encourage everybody to take a look. And speaking of taking a look, we're going to take another look at some flashbacks from 2024.
As is, but our mind span stands on this fashion and getting back into the old days of how our grandfathers and our forefathers was of keeping a good look. If you look good, you feel good, everybody else is going to see it and see it on you.
Tell us a little bit about some of the things that you wrote in your essay.
I wrote a little bit about how I want to become an educator soon because I plan to major in elementary education at the University of Louisville. And the main reason why I decided to become an educator is because of my dad and my grandmother.
So we now have 6 days of early voting. Correct. So beginning May 16, you can go vote at sites like Paris Town Hall, and you can get all that information, the where, the when, the how, at our website.
That venue is an empty shell. Then once we're done with it, it becomes, a beautiful, work of art. So basically, I full planning, take the stress off of people. You want people to enjoy their celebration.
Really look forward to every year because they know the impact that they're having on the community and especially our students, because the students, they're our future.
I think it speaks volumes that the employees, you all, I would say, have skin in the game, because it's out of the goodness of your hearts that you want to make sure that those who are in need of it, that you all are making it happen.
Yeah, I mean, we are all about empowering our students because
what I learned was Muhammad Ali literally had the opportunity to put this center anywhere. He was known literally all around the world. So this is a center that people were clamoring for in other communities. But he said, no, I want it here in Louisville, Kentucky, because this is my home. There was something special about this community.
People want to get involved with your school or with Kappa. How can they do that?
Well, you can contact Mazik directly. You can call the school. You can email me, Charles Marshall at JeffersonKYschools.us. Send me an email. We greatly appreciate your help. Thank you.
When I was 27, I was diagnosed with lupus. And so that was obviously scary and had a lot of health concerns with that. Lupus is a hard disease to deal with. And with that came trouble in just everyday functioning, being able to, use your limbs, breathe properly. Lupus is a very trying.
Both, but you especially, you do a lot of things to serve this community and just for service and helping individuals anyway. Tell me about how you became inspired to run to be a council woman, and then what was the steps to prepare you for doing this?
Denise, I've always been a servant leader. When I look back at my life, I was taught to be a servant leader.
Just everything that went in, not only to making that show, when that particular show was Ali, Mesa, Marion Meadows, and Najee. And the budget that goes into it.
MSD. How do you learn about these MSD jobs? Or somebody missed the fair. How can these people, young people, be able to apply to MSD to go ahead and pursue whatever it is that they want to work in that capacity?
And I am also a caterer as well. I do different corporate events. I do baby showers, birthday parties, one-on-one in your home with just your family. I cook in home. But yes, I'm really new to the industry. I've been here for about 3 years, and I just want to get known. Great quality food, great tasting food,
We're back again at Middle of Town Cycling, and you're probably saying, why we're talking about cycling and it's December, because there's ways you can still appreciate and enjoy cycling. Of course, there's winter gear, and there's also training bikes. So take a look at this.
So this is the fun time segment, because I'm here at Middle of Town Cycling, and we always talk about how much fun we always have riding our bikes and staying safe. But today is going to be a topic that is very, very important when it comes to that. And again, Miss Nura, welcome back to Urban Lifestyle.
Thank you very much for having us.
You know, I think about making my purchases here at Middle of Town and the fun things and the accoutrements, but service. Let's talk about service, because I've had a nice bike ride I thought was going to be, and it all went kaput. So you're going to share with us why we need to get it serviced and all that good stuff. So there, take it away.
A lot of people don't realize that we're actually a full service bike shop, so you don't have to purchase a bike here to get your bike serviced, you know, regardless of what bike you have. If it's something we are able to fix and we give you a quote, we don't charge you for checking your bike. You're welcome to bring the bike in. We'll put it up in a stand. We'll go over everything. We'll give you an estimate. We'll give you a quote. Sometimes it is better to maybe possibly get a new bike instead of fixing an old bike, because it ends up being more expensive. And we're pretty honest about that as well. We want to make sure you get the best experience ever. So but service is definitely a very big deal.
When I think about service, I know to me a bike is a fun type of transportation of destinations to enjoy. Should I do something like, or anybody has a bike, do something like a tune-up, like you do for your car, for instance?
It is actually called the tune-up, and we have like 3 different tune-up packages. There is like a simple tune-up, which is like a basic tune-up, and then we have a tune-up where we pretty much take everything off your bike and we clean it in a sonic cleaner, and then we have that. And then you have an even further, take it a step further, we take pretty much everything that's off the bike, we re-cable everything, we put new housing on everything. And it really just depends on, not everybody needs to do the most expensive service, but if you've ridden a bike 4, 5, 6 years and you've never done anything to your bike, maybe considering doing that would help and increase the shelf life of your bike, increase the longevity of your bike. Like anything else, you maintain something, it runs forever.
So for me, I'm thinking about enjoying, like going down, for me it's the little bunny hills, but I'm going down at a fast speed. So when you bring it in for servicing, because we've done it before, but I didn't know what it involved, is that when you would check the function of the brakes and check things like that?
Yes, so the tune-up technically is very basic. The basic tune-up includes everything that needs to be at least looked at and checked at to keep you safe, right? So are your gear shifting okay? Are your brakes working okay? Is every part of your bike tightened like it needs to be? Where there needs to be torque, is it torqued down properly? We also check if the wheels itself are not just wobbling around, because they are made out of spokes, and these spokes over a period of time will lose their, will become loose and will lose their tension. So you want to make sure that those are adjusted correctly. So that's what included in the basic tune-up. And then of course we check a couple of things. We check to make sure your chain isn't stretched, your chain isn't worn down. We check your tires, make sure they're not worn down. And we check cable and housing, the internals, make sure they're not rusted. Remember, when you're riding a bike, you sweat. Where's all that sweat going? So you got to make sure all of these crevices and stuff like that is lubed, cleaned, and greased for it to run longer and run better.
So I know come spring, I need to go ahead and we just call and make an appointment, or how does that?
It's all walk-in, so you don't need an appointment, even though say you do want to come in and get one day turnaround, we can put you on a schedule, but typically you do not require an appointment. You just walk in and 2 or 3 days, especially this time of the year, 2 or 3 days, we can turn around and get your bike back.
You know what? I think that's our show.
Oh, and that's our time.
And we'll see you back here next time on Urban Lifestyles. And again, Happy New Year.
Bye.
Bye.